Hello. Okay, Instagram, Facebook, a little flash course in English. It's Sunday. Fun day, should be fun. I don't know about you guys. It's going to take a bit of time to connect, but I had a lot of fun today. I'm connecting with lots of people from all over the world, and it doesn't matter at what time it is. Obviously, we're not on the same moment or same page at the same time, but I've been discussing with people from Chicago, London, Paris, Australia, Amsterdam, San Fran, New York. Where else? Oh, out west in BC. Hello. So if some of you are French, I'm going to discuss in French. Hello. At 6 p.m. Now I'm just going to do a very quick course on bubbles today. My friend, a good friend of mine that used to, she's still in Chicago. Her husband used to work for Alinea, which is one of the top restaurants in the world. And she watched back the little crash course on Spain yesterday, and she told me that she learned more within these 10 minutes than with her husband. That's a sommelier as well, Richard. So hi to all of you. Hello. What's my goal by doing this? It's just that first, I'm bored. It's my 10 days in quarantine. Well, I'm not quite bored, actually. I don't know about you, but when you plant a seed, you have a great flower coming out of it. And what I realized is that, through my years, I'm 40 now, so quarantine is perfect for me. I have friends everywhere, and they're amazing, very good people, a lot in the industry, in the restaurant industry. And since everything is sort of falling apart for now, they are very generous. They take care of each other. They excel by having great other ideas. They either prepare food and give it to the staff, like the doctors and the care people, what we call the angel. So thank you for all of that. And thank you for being all together. I'm extremely proud of being in that business, and it makes me so happy, So if you think of something, you have extra food, you don't know what to do, well, then maybe prepare food for all the doctors and staff out there. That's a very good idea. Lunchbox, it can be a pizza. Takeout for us, which is good, with wine. And I just want to say thank you to all of my friends around the world that are sort of together through this and keep the moral very high. So for my part, something I never did before, I almost felt more lonely before than right now. I had plenty of phone calls from friends saying, hey, I love you, we like you, not on a, on the love part, real friendship. Customers, people that I haven't heard from for a long time. And this morning, I took a mimosa with one of my great friends, another one very far away. We were all together on the screen. And for 2 hours, I had so much fun. So, pick up the phone, talk to somebody that you love, maybe your parents, your grandparents, your friends, whatever. It's the time to reconnect. We were disconnected before. That's what I realized. So what I have for you, it's bubbles, a little crash course on bubbles. It's my passion. I'm from Quebec City in Canada. Canada, we make great wines, but in Quebec, we make great apple cider, ice wine, white wine that are quite interesting, reds, coming up, I just wrote a book called Boire local, to drink local. But what I really believe in, rosé are fantastic, but bubbles is my number one. So I made an offer. He doesn't want to sell yet, but one day he's going to sell to purchase a vineyard. And I would like to call it, for an appellation, so everybody could do it, Acero. Acero, like Prosecco, the same method. I will talk about this right now. And acer in French, in Latin language, means sugar from maple sugar. So I would like to make bubbles, and instead of using beet sugar or regular sugar, sugar from maple. So acero would be my dream. But right now, I'm working on Canadian bubble dose. When I'm going to say dose means add sugar with ice wine. Hello tout le monde, Alain, Sylvie, André, Matt. This is so cool. Hi everyone, Steph. Thanks for being here. So to add sugar is a part, and I'm just going to discuss very quickly the different type of sugar. This morning, we were drinking, I was with some of my friends on a screen. One was drinking Cava, the other one Prosecco, and the other one Champagne, okay? So let me explain the difference. Sparkling wine is the big family. All of wines that's got bubbles, CO2 in it, it's called a sparkling wine, okay? Once you have that sparkling wine, if you're in Champagne, so in France, in the Champagne area, you are allowed to call it champagne. It is more expensive because there's traditional law that you have to respect. And just like 1 hectare of soil is 1 million euro. So obviously it costs a lot of money and there's not plenty of grapes that you can have from there. So this is it for Champagne. Champagne is like the top of the top. In the 16th century, Dom Pérignon, sort of all that story. It was made from a mistake. It was regular wine that sort of re-fermented in a bottle. So you have regular wine and then you close it and the CO2 start re-fermenting, so you keep the bottle inside. So this is it. This is the Champagne traditional method. If you don't want to spend a lot of cash on bubbles and you don't care, about champagne or whatever, sparkling wine, there's something called crema. Crema is a sparkling wine, okay? You have crema from Burgundy, Bordeaux, Luxembourg, 8 different places, all right? It's quite good. The Luxembourg one is fantastic. Bernard Massard, for those who come from here in Quebec, just purchase that, $20. It's amazing, very good quality for the price, made with 100% Pinot Noir for the rosé. I drink that all the time. I don't see a difference, okay? So this is it for crema. Cava. Cava, we're in Spain. They use Xarel·lo and Parellada, most likely, for 2 grapes very popular to make in the Cava DO, okay, the denomination of origin. What's interesting is the same traditional method, but it's quite cheap. I was drinking that this morning. Not that I'm cheap, but I really love the taste. It was Pares Balta that I was drinking. It's a bio product, very good for the price, not even $20, okay? They make it white and red. I prefer the white because it's drier. Bonjour Gilles, bonjour Isabelle. I'm going to do one in French at 6 if you're interested. And for those who speak English, if you do have questions on the page 20 Bu or directly to me, I receive lots of questions after this. Do not hesitate. Today, what I'm answering is really the level of sugar. And this is what I want to do with you. So, I wrote all that down. I have a great memory. I was talking about champagne. Champagne is made out of France. Otherwise, it's sparkling, called crema. It's the same traditional method. Cava is from Spain. Okay, usually Penedès region. And then you have Prosecco. The difference with Prosecco, I just came back from there. I was there in the summer. It's from the town of Conegliano and Valdobbiadene. So you have 2 different towns. And what's really cool about it is that they sort of have like their own university to train all of the farmers to know what to do. They plant a grape that's not very specific. It's specific there, but we don't know that grape. It's called Prosecco or the Glera or Prosecco, it's the same thing. So it's not like a very fantastic grape, but perfect for the climate. And they make it like they make their own sparkling wine in a tank. So instead of re-fermenting in a bottle, which is more expensive, they do it in a tank. So in French, we call that the Charmat method. All right. So it's less expensive, it's more productive, and it makes a very good product. So Prosecco is never really expensive. It is made out of Glera for the grape. In Champagne, the 2 things you need to remember, because today we're going to taste a Blanc de Blanc, so white of white, or Blanc de Noir, white of black. So what does it mean very specifically? In Champagne, white wine is going to be made of the Chardonnay, and red, Pinot Noir or Pinot Meunier. So when you read on a bottle Blanc de Blanc, it should be 100% made out of Chardonnay. And if you read Blanc de Noir in English, when I used to work at Trotters, they say Blanc de Noir. Blanc de Noir, it's either Pinot Noir and or Pinot Meunier. Just remember Pinot or Chardonnay. So white of white, Blanc de Blanc, Chardonnay. C'est tellement un beau prétexte pour pratiquer l'anglais. Oh, I like it. It's fun to practice English, and it's a bit different for me because I've been tasting in French for so long, but then it's coming back to me really quickly because the basic in wine is the same, all right? So Chardonnay for white and Blanc de Noir, Pinot Noir or Pinot Meunier. And one last thing before I taste and before I let you go, okay, in 2 minutes. Brut nature brut means 0 sugar. Okay, the regular usually, let's say Veuve Clicquot brut is going to be between 8 grams per sugar. Okay, between 6 to 12 grams. So you have brut nature, extra brut, which is quite dry. Okay, it is not sweet. It's below 6 gram per sugar per liter. Brut, which is the usual, it's going to be between 6 to 12. So that's the regular. This one is brut, so 8 grams per sugar. Allô, Mylène, c'est donc bien cool. Je rêve à votre Mylène Poisson, qui est une super sommelière. She's with Cal, a great sommelier as well. They are one of the most beautiful couple I know, and they made bread. So I just ordered on Amazon some yeast to make my own bread. So you better share that great recipe with us. So thanks for watching. I'm going to be live at 6 o'clock for French. So brut, which is below 12 grams. And then it's because of the Russian that they changed sort of the sequence for the sugar. It's extra dry, which you think is going to be dry, but no, it is sweet to please the palate of the Russian. It's between 12 to 17 grams per sugar. So this is quite, heavy in sugar. And you have dry, which you think is going to be dry. So extra dry, which is 12 to 17, dry, which is 17 to 30, then semi-dry, which is 32 to 50, and then sweet, which is 50 and more. 50, when I say 50, is 50 grams per sugar. So half a teaspoon, basically, okay, 50 times. So what I'm trying to say is that I have a great memory, but for me to have to write this down doesn't mean anything. So remember that sparkling should be, like, say, brut, 8 grams per sugar. It's not a lot of sugar. Think of a lemonade. It's very dry in a way. So don't be confused when they say dry. Sometimes it means sweeter. So I'm going to finish. Salut Théa. I'm going to finish with a little bit of tasting. It's a bit more than 10 minutes because I had so much to say, about sparkling. For me, Bu is sell here for those who are not coming from the Quebec market. We have a monopoly, and usually in the grocery store, it's a different sort of way of selling things. And the bubbles will always shoot like CO2, like baby duck, like Coke almost. And me, I'm against that. So this is the same method as Prosecco. It is from the Loire Valley in France. It is a Blanc de Blanc made from Pinot Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc, all right? And I really enjoy the mouthfeel. Sometimes when you open a bottle of wine, you can either keep it or open it like this, but never, always keep your thumb on it so it doesn't pop into your eyeball. There's more pressure in it than in your tire in your car. And then you're going to squeeze it very, very tight. And you go the opposite side, okay? So, hey, Virginie Topneau, une des meilleures productrices de Bourgogne. Hello! This is amazing, you guys. I'm having so much fun reconnecting with the world. So you should do 1, 2, and on the third, okay? It's going to be like very smooth, and you just push it on the side, right? When you serve bubbles, you should take a flute just to see, okay, the bubbles. If you prefer the nose, just like pour it in a regular glass of wine, like this. I'm holding it tight because I hurt my hand. I don't know how you can, a carpet tunnel by opening so many bottles, all right? That's not even a joke. So this is why I'm holding the bottle tight. So what you do, okay, it's always the visual, what it smells and what it tastes like. So you look at the bubbles, you can see that the bubbles are everywhere. Sometimes it's going to be straight in the center, right up and very refined. Now there's more bubbles. It's not the same technique as in champagne or very traditional method. It's more like a Prosecco method. So I have quite lots of bubble, but very tiny and refined. The color, it is not greenish. It's more on that sort of goldenish side. So it looks like a yellow apple almost, and peach. So there's much more to it than just a very light sparkling wine. To the nose, sometimes you can have two different aromas, either on the fruit part or on the wood side. Now, there's no wood in this one. I really want it to be fresh, easy to drink, okay? So there's no sort of toastiness, brioche. There's nothing like it, all right? It's much more on the fruit, yellow apple, something very smooth and delicate. So if you put it in your mouth, I'm in love with these bubbles. It is so crisp. There's a good acidity. The bubbles are refined. They stay for a very long time. You don't feel that presence of sugar whatsoever. But look at my face when I taste. If I did this, it would be too acidic. Sometimes even champagne are too acidic or very complex. This is an easy to drink bubble, very refined, delicate. You either eat it with oyster, drink it just like that, and then enjoy every single part of it. So cheer to you guys. Sorry for the little crash course. I'm going to be at 6 o'clock in French live. If you have any question, go for it. And if you're from Quebec and you're single, the name in French will be Bubbles. It's a free code to chit chat all night for that 5 to 7, 5 à 7 at Rencontre Sportive. I'm gonna write it down on my Facebook. See you later in French if you want to hear like all of the other part. All right, we're gonna do a little game in French. For those who speak English, the game's coming up very soon. Ciao! Thanks for being with me. Bye.